What is up, office workers and interns? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we're returning to 30-something office worker Haman-Sama. Last time, Haman got a new mochi cube. She went bowling with Char and Amado, and she coaxed her designer former Same into making their deadline by activating her creative mode. This time, the gang goes to the beach. Haman is jealous of a new girl, Ru Luca, and Amado gives her a ride in his car. So let's get into this. During the middle of a business meeting, Mashimmer falls asleep. Haman gives him cash and tells him to go get coffee. She reaches for her bag when she realizes that her limited edition Mochi Cube charm fell off. Mashimmer says that she had it on her bag this morning. She wonders how often Mashimmer is watching her. She tries to play it cool and says it's just a toy. She's most certainly dying inside though. The next day, Mashimmer found her Mochi Cube. He retraced Haman's footsteps and found it in the lost and found section at the train station. She finds this quite endearing. However, while spending the time looking for the charm, he completely forgot to prepare for today's meeting. She no longer finds it endearing. Haman is walking home. She thought today's meeting could have been an email. While walking, she spots Judo in the distance. She needs to play it cool. They pass one another. Judo didn't even notice. It takes him a moment, but suddenly realizes that it is Haman and says hello. Haman responds, but comes out desperate, which is exactly what she was trying to prevent. Haman says out loud that her heart has been rejuvenated and she could sleep well tonight. While saying this, a runner is passing by. It happens to be Yazan out for a nightly run. He says, "Thanks for the juicy gossip, peace." Rekoa, Kara, and Haman go out for drinks talking about their troubles with men. On her way home, she realizes she too is drunk. That is when Judo comes and helps her out. She thinks she is dreaming. He offers to take her home, but she is too embarrassed. He says she should be safer and she can get hurt. Haman thinks, wow, he's so caring and dreamy. He takes her home. Maybe they could touch each other's butts, she thinks. But then suddenly, the urge to throw up hits her like a bag of bricks. Judo gets her some water. She is so embarrassed about how messy she is that she begins crying. Judo begins petting her and says it's okay. He says this is how he calms her sister Lena down. The next day, he goes to the convenience to say thanks to Judo, when she runs into Ru Luca. As she leaves the convenience store, she yells at a car. Haman thinks, oh no, she's beautiful and a bitch. I can't compete with that. Haman has that girl on her mind. She is extremely jealous. Kara can tell that she has a boy on her mind. She knows how she could solve Haman's love problems. She takes her to the Moon fortune teller. They meet with Sarasa Moon. She starts with Kara and says that she will find love soon. She then moves on to Haman and says that she could sense a huge evil coming from her. She is drinking too much. Haman thinks, tell me something I don't know. Then Sarasa says, you once wore a push-up bra and then your ex-boyfriend noticed and you were so embarrassed by it, and now I'm reminding you of it. Yeah, that one struck a nerve. Haman thinks that she is spying on her, but Sarasa says it is merely the teaching of the light. The fortune teller tells her that what she is looking for is close by. Later, she watches TV and drinks beer while ignoring everything Sarasa told her. While watching, she notices Ru Luca on television, representing the Argama Apparel Company. Ru Luca is the hottest thing in the apparel industry right now. Haman is reading a magazine. On the cover is Tomino giving advice for rejuvenating your looks. When I need advice on looks, I always go to Tomino. She should be enjoying lunch with Camille, but she is being very catty. Camille suggests that she fight back. He says, you could do the same thing because you're a beautiful woman if you keep your mouth shut. Even when my boy, Autistic K, is giving a compliment, it still comes off as an insult. Haman yells at Camille and proves his point. After work, Camille goes home to play an RPG. He wields his Zeta sword. He attacks some Zakus that look like those elemental blobs from Final Fantasy games. He then runs into a girl who joins his party. The girl praises him and gives him attention as he talks about his woes with working at an apparel company. He's mainly just complaining about Bright. They defeat an S-level monster together. She wonders if he can meet Camille in person. Camille thinks it is a bad idea, but he eventually goes through with it. He goes to meet her only to find out that it is Char. The name of his endgame avatar is Quattro Bagina. It should have been obvious. Char says that he needed to be as cute as possible to get his attention. Camille is disappointed. Char puts on some cat ears and says, does this make it better? After all, he liked it when he wore cat ears in-game. Camille is not impressed. Later that night, Char texts Haman pics of Camille wearing cat ears. Haman is missing so much context. It is summer and really hot at the moment. She is very sticky. That is when Puru bursts into her apartment and says, get up, we're going to the beach. This is a beach episode. Unlike Puru, Puru 2 is covered head to toe. She calls this her full armor UV protection suit. Add another full armor variant to the pile. Haman dresses more conservatively, mainly because her sexy swimsuits from her 20s no longer fits her anymore, and she is embarrassed. She then decides to reschedule for a couple weeks from now. That will give her some time to work off all the beer. She stops drinking and starts running laps around Yasan. The day has come. She is looking good. She meets up with everyone and is excited to see Judo. However, he decides to invite Rue. All hope is now lost for Haman. We flash back to a week earlier, where Haman asked out Judo to the beach. He says that he was also supposed to meet with some friends at the beach that day. Perhaps they should all meet up. Elle wonders why Bicha and Haman know each other. They went on a blind date in the past, but now they pretend like nothing ever happened. Rue takes off her top and shows off her beach bod. Haman has been waiting for this moment. She takes off her top as well. They play some volleyball with a hotto-shaped ball. Haman spikes the ball right into Rue's face. She throws it at Haman's butt. They begin fighting one another. Bicha asks Judo which one of their swimsuits he likes more. The girls stop fighting and start listening. He says he likes them both. Ooh. Rue says she doesn't care about being judged by someone with no fashion sense. Rue asks Haman if she likes Judo. Meanwhile, Puru 2 is enjoying her full armor mode, but Puru tells everyone that she has a bathing suit underneath. They pull off her full armor mode. Oh no, she's vulnerable. Haman convinces Rue that she is just a customer at his konbini. She asks Rue if she likes him. She says he isn't her type, but later Rue asks Judo to rub some sunscreen on her back. Haman runs to fence and puts the sunscreen on Rue's back herself. Haman wants to ride with Judo on his banana boat. Rue decides to tackle Haman. While they fight once again, Puru gets pulled out into the sea. Haman swims after her to save her, but Rue says this is now a competition, bitch. However, Judo beat both of them and saves Puru. Puru gives Judo a kiss and they get super jealous. Rue tells Puru to be more careful or she will upset her mother. Haman realizes she is referring to her. That bitch! Camille asks Fa out to a water park. She wonders why he decided to come here. When they enter, he is determined to go to one attraction, the Wave Rider. He says, wait here, and goes on the ride alone. Fa realizes that this autistic boy just wanted someone to go with him while he rides this ride. Haman is trying to reach something on the top shelf. Mashimmer is here to save the day. He says, step on me, Haman-Sama. She probably shouldn't, but it is just Mashimmer. Before she could step on him, Puru brings a stepladder. Aw, let her step on him. Haman is running late for her meeting. As she runs to the train station, she meets Amado Ray, who gives her a ride. He refers to her as Char's ex-girlfriend. She declines his offer, but then Amado says, those who ignore the feelings of other people will cause me to suffer for the rest of my life. Amado is way too intense for Haman, but she accepts his offer. The name of his sports car is Pegasus. He says that she should get back together with Char. She wonders why he cares so much about a relationship. Amado is just tired of Char bothering him like he's his girlfriend and wants to pass the buck. He's tired of Char doing all those extremely wicked things.
Amaro.
He drops her off and yells, Amado Ray, launching, before driving off. Char says, hey, was that just Amado? Haman says, it's not always about you. Meanwhile, outside of the apparel company, someone is spying on them. It is Paptimus Sirocco and a young Glimmy Toto. He despises Haman. Minerva shows Haman photos she took from the beach trip. She says there was some random guy who started filming them. It happened to be Lino. Haman says that Minerva is the greatest sister ever and no one comes close to their relationship. She says this while the Purus are in the room. Yeah, suck it. They then decide to start calling Haman mommy and make her embarrassed. She looks at the photos and notices that she is always staring at Judo. They could tell that Haman likes him. They all hug her, but Puru tells him to stop. Puru 2 is now the mommy. While out and about, Haman runs into Camille with Torres. He is tanned. Camille tells Haman about his date at the water park with Fa. He says, it was okay. But in his mind, he had the greatest time ever. Fa asks Haman if she could help her find a man. The two drink some black TriStar coffee. She realizes Fa needs a man as the subject for her next cosplay. She shows her the new cosplay, which is Char's Xeon uniform. Haman thinks she might know some guys. She goes home and realizes she knows no one. She thinks about Judo wearing it, then Camille. It doesn't suit either of them. She then thinks of Char and thinks he is a perfect fit. Puru and some others want to join Four, but Haman doesn't want to go. She changes her mind when she sees Four and Char getting close. They make it to the convention hall. Haman regrets everything. And that will do it for this episode. Haman likes Judo, but refuses to admit it in front of Rue, her new archenemy. Pettiness is the name of the game when it comes to Haman. Next time, Haman and the gang cosplay at the con. They run into a young cosplay photographer named Kika, and Camille Semps for Rosamia. But that will do it for now, interns. You could try your entire life and never achieve the amount of pettiness that Haman is willing to go through. Peace.